got like 39% battery charge here on my phone, and I need to charge it up. I was hit with like a double whammy of sorts. A friend, or rather a member of my uncle's parish, his congregation, since he was in the Catholic Church, contacted me recently, and my uncle ended up passing away earlier this year, and it really was very heartfelt. So there's that, and then there's also the video that this is not exactly me trying to break down the video or anything like that, but it hit me in such a way where it really ended up hurting me when I wanted to. So I'm not exactly processing, but I am trying to respond to some of these things here because, frankly, it really does matter. What lies behind fathers? As a single young man, and for those who are also single, trying to figure out their way forward, you generally have the church, you have those outside the church, and of course, family, friends, parents, people who you can trust, who you can ask and get their opinions and thoughts on where to go, what to focus on, how to live, how to grow, all of this stuff, because, you approach life as it comes, you make adjustments as you need or as you want. Your focus changes, your priority changes, there's a lot that changes. And it's never going to be easy. As someone else ended up commenting earlier, this is more of a side issue, like about politics, how, being completely messy and all that. But politics and faith, one's about the individual and the other one's about like the country. It's about the population. It's about the many. And maintain your life, structure, organization. Like there's some crossovers between the two. Fathers are a part of that. They're a part of the whole structural component for young men and young women. I don't really specialize in either. I don't really talk much about women, but I do try to break down some of the points that matter between the two. And I know I've gone. Okay, how's this sound? How's this sound on my end here? I want to make sure it's coming across right. Yeah, hang on. One sec. I gotta check things out a little bit. Hang on. Hang on a second, I gotta move by. Alright. How's it sounding on your end here? Yeah, I turned my AC off. How's it sounding? Sound better? Sound worse? There's absolutely no noise. The fan is very quiet. Yeah. The AC situation got fixed. I'm using a portable AC device thing. 12,000 BTUs. The one that I originally was going to get was 16,000 BTU, which was unavailable, and I had payment issues. The credit card was tied up, and I lost it. I couldn't buy it. The 12,000 one I have here fits this entire room. It covers this entire room. It's awesome. Anyway, how do I sound? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Still not the best. Alright. It's awesome. Anyway, how do I sound? Yeah, not the best. Better, but not the best. Ugh. I'll try to keep this somewhat short then. This video. Actually, I can keep it 5 to 10 minutes long. Yeah, there we go. I'm having issues with this live stream here, so that sucks. Alright. Actually, that was a lot worse. Steve Jobs, last words atheists don't want you to know.
Steve Jobs haunting.
All right, this one. I'm going to be covering this later. It hit me roughly around, it's 18 minutes long and hit me around the 6-minute mark, and that's the part where I wanted to talk more about because, frankly, it seems like there's a lot of men who they put their job first and then only realize afterwards, oh, hey, family actually matters. It talks about Steve Jobs' struggle with his daughter, who he did not care about. Putting it very simply, it's almost like he disowned her in a sense. He basically like, she's not my kid, and there's issues there. Not doing so hot, but it's a good topic because what lies behind fatherhood basically boils down to a couple of things. But if this live stream is just going to be all choppy and the phone is basically half dead at 36%, now is not the best time to go ahead and do it. That sucks because I was hoping this was going to be the right time, but for some reason things are not lining up here. At least I'll make it worth your 5 minutes of time at the very least here. I'm going to put down the volume. Pop open the video, play it. Alright. See, put on the subtitles. 6 minutes into it. Steve Jobs' haunting last words. I don't even want to spoil that because it's actually pretty good. It's well done. He built up into it, and I only wish he would have spent a couple more minutes breaking it down because that was pretty good. Unlike some of the other people who have been reported to having passed away, regretting the life that they lived and seeing something beyond what is physical, as in there's other spiritual beings in the room that terrify them. I think that is to note that whatever Steve Jobs was seeing, he was seeing more, possibly the whole entirety of it. So he... Can I get back to the channel, please? Russin, there we go. So Russin here was talking about a Bible verse here. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Where is it found? Chapter 16. Matthew 16:36. There we go. Matthew 16. 26. What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? Yeah. The next one for 27... For the Son of Man is going to come in his Father's glory with his angels, and then he will reward each person according to what they have done. For someone like me, oh, and I needed to give a shout out to, another shout out to Terrence Pops from Redonkulous, because I've had a couple conversations with him, and he actually does kind of fall into play here because, well, if you're not going to be a father, you're going to go in another direction, and helping those in, veterans and those in the military to find purpose and meaning in this life so that they can hopefully live and enjoy their life. That matters, instead of going the route of checking out, taking their own lives, and or worse. Like, if you don't actually find an answer to some of these questions, it's going to end up breaking you. It's going to cause issues. Plain and simple. It looks differently for women than it does men, though. I know I've had some good conversations with other people, other women in my older unit. Many of them, I think all of them actually have someone in their life who they're actually with. They have a spouse or they have like a boyfriend, and they seem to be more or less content. So that is a bit of a blessing as well, that they're not like single and alone and struggling and all that. And the ones who probably are, I'm not hearing back from them, so I'm not going to assume, but yeah. So moving on here from this one part here, this one verse, I want to cover this whole thing more. All right. Philippians 2:2, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, rather in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to interest of others. Yeah, right here. This stuff is pretty good, but what lies behind fatherhood ended up hitting me because this is the spot between the church and those outside of the church. Is what happens if you're not going to be a father, if you're not going to be a parent, and you're going to end up being, single and alone. What then? What do you do then? You are forced to confront what your purpose is and everything around it. It's incredibly hard. It's brutal. To be honest, if it was anything less, it would either not be worth your time. It wouldn't be worth. If it was just easy and it was just handed to you, it wouldn't have much meaning. Because you didn't have to spend time, you didn't have to invest, you didn't have to sacrifice to find the answers. And in some cases, like my own, for example, it wouldn't become a part of your testimony. Yeah, so I don't think people will actually care up until it hits them about, where they're heading in life and who they're going to become later down the road. You can care about it now, or you can care about it then when you have to be facing with some serious consequences and responsibilities. Actually, some people can't handle the responsibilities and never will be able to handle the responsibilities. So what are they going to do? They're going to check out. They're going to get stuck in vices, addictions, stuff that's going to end up causing more issues down the road. You can actually try to hit the sweet spot between purpose. How do I phrase this? You can find there's a sweet spot between comfort and safety and like addictions, vices, and all that, where it's like a home comfort level type of deal, where I think primarily the victims who've been like the victims who've suffered something that they cannot recover from quickly or easily, if at all. You're basically in recovery status for the rest of your life. I've heard of some things and I've thought about that too. You also have those who are the money makers, the ones who are like, they put their job, it may not be first in their life, but it's what they aim for, it's what they do, As Kevin Samuels and some other people put it down, you're either leaving a family behind or you're leaving a legacy behind. What you're leaving behind matters. I think in my pursuit of all this, I just want to hit some of the areas that the church is failing to do, and some of the areas that the men outside of the church are failing to do as well. I believe in the whole like mind, body, and soul, the health for all three parts of the main parts of a human, not just simply the physical or the spiritual side. If you're going to be out of sync in one area, you're going to be out of sync in more than just that one area. If you're not going to care about your health, no one else is going to care about it. I broke down and got a soda. Fun. Alright, let me see here. Blah, 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 blah. Two devices looping, creating the echo. Yes. Yeah. Lovely. Yeah, I know, Wrecker. Take the criticism and not dwell on it. Put out the stuff that matters. But if it's going to be loopy here, give you 5 minutes worth and then call it quits here. Because I'm going to do a video on this. I'm going to break it down because this matters. Plain and simple. It's just not the best timing. How long? 14 minutes? This is perfect. I'll end right here. Give me some time. I'll put this thing up here and hopefully it'll be ready by tomorrow, okay? I've got something else here that I've been wanting to put up here. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine. Crap. Okay, I got it. I got it right here. It's a conversation that hit me left wing, so to speak. It hit me out of the ballpark on the left, whatever the phrase is. It came out from somewhere else and hit me because it was a friend of mine, and she hit me up with some really good stuff here. 1 second. Where are you? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Please take a look at this. I'd like to get your thoughts. Blah, blah, blah. Where are we at here? I need to check up on Rene Descartes' first philosophy. That's tied with this, but in short, skepticism and methodological rationalism. I need to cover that as well because framing how you address certain things matters. Plain and simple. If you don't even frame what you believe in, you don't frame this stuff, you're going to be stuck, you're going to be lost, you're going to make a fool of yourself. Plain and simple. All right, that's about it. Give me a bit of a heads up here because I got a couple things on my plate too. Yeah, fun. All right, until next time, stay tuned.